Today's topic of discussion will be performance evaluation in industrial psychology. Now, performance evaluation or performance appraisal is a systematic evaluation of performance of employees. Why it's called systematic? Because it's need to be planned properly so that the true feedback can be obtained. What is meant by the true feedback? That is the feedback about the potentialities of the employee, their development or growth in the company, their contribution to the company. If this feedback is done in a systematic way or in a properly planned way, it encourages the some positive behavior in the employee, and the employee will have improved motivation to work. Next, it will satisfy the employee curiosity also about his feedback from the management. That is, he will be able to understand what the management thinks of him, his work, and where he needs to put the effort. Now, we'll be discussing about the methods of the performance appraisal. There is actually two categories of method. One is the traditional and the other is the modern method. Now, both the methods have their advantages and disadvantages, but before going into that, we will be talking about the shift of ideas from traditional to modern. The traditional methods of appraisal generally focus on the merit ranking depending on the tenure of the job. That means for how many years the person is working in the company, education, his qualification, wage or designation. Now, this has experienced a shift in the modern methods. In the modern method, the employee appraisal is done depending on the performance on their job. Improved performance yields better appraisal. Secondly, in the traditional methods, appraisal was done for only hourly paid employees, and personality traits like initiative, creativity, intelligence, leadership potentials, etc. were assessed for appraisal. But in the modern techniques, all the employees, technical ones, the managers, hourly paids are assessed based on their accomplishment or achievements in the work rather than their personality traits. Thirdly, in the traditional methods, the superordinate employees used to rate the subordinates and they communicated it to the subordinates only. But in the modern system, the idea has shifted to the self-appraisal form so that the employee's objectives, his targets can be assessed. Here the superordinate only acts as a motivator or a guide. Now we will be coming to the methods of appraisal under the traditional methods and the modern methods. The methods or techniques under the traditional methods are ranking method, paired comparison, grading method, forced distribution method, forced choice, checklist, critical incident report, graphic rating scale, essay method, field report, confidential report, and group appraisal. In the modern techniques, we have management by objective, behaviorally anchored rating scale, assessment centers used for evaluation, 360-degree appraisal, HR accounting, and 720-degree appraisal. Now, to discuss the techniques in detail, we will be starting with the traditional method. Under the traditional method, the first one is the ranking method. It's a very simple format where the superordinate rank the employees from best to worst. It's an ordinal position in terms of the merit, and accordingly the appraisal is done. Next is the paired comparison method. In paired comparison method, each employee is compared to another one, to each employee. Each is all the employees in the firm is compared to all other employees in a one-to-one fashion. That means if we have 4 employees A, B, C and D, then A is to be compared with B, C and D individually. Then again needs to be compared with A, C and D individually, and likewise. In this way, the appraisal is done on the number of ratings, on the number of times the person is getting chosen over the other one. Because when we are putting the names in chits, we need to choose one from the pair. So the number of times a person is getting chose by the rater is his rating, is his score, and that marks the appraisal. In the grading method, categories or criterion is established by the company. Criteria like excellent, satisfactory or poor, average, these are actually devised by the company only, and the employees are allocated in the categories depending on their performance. Next comes the forced distribution method. This method was introduced by Tiffin. Here the managers need to rate their employees into categories depending on a percentile based evaluation. Like 10% of the employee is poor or excellent in their job and 40% is fairly good. Actually, it follows a normally distributed curve pattern, and accordingly the rater has to rate which 10% of the employees poor or excellent in their work and who all are fairly good or average in their work. Next is the forced choice technique. This was developed by J.P. Guilford. In this method, a series of groups of statements are provided to the rater, and the rater selects how effectively each statement describes an individual. Here the rater is forced to choose ready-made statements about a person, and this statement might not be descriptive of the employee's trait. And as this one comes in a ready-made format and you have to choose, the rater have to choose one, so it's called a forced choice technique. Next is the checklist method. This checklist method is very easy to understand. It's like yes or no answers are given along the statements that indicate the employee's performance. The rater or the evaluator need to only tick the appropriate on each for each statement or the trait that is given. It's either yes or no. It suits the employee or not. The rater has to tick it. It's checklist. The next is the critical incident report. In this critical incident report, the performance is evaluated on the basis of some key events or incidents in the job. Here the employee's job behavior is recorded for each such incidents with proper explanation supporting his actions. This is used to evaluate the employee, his behavior, his temperament, his attitude towards the work. Everything gets reported and recorded for evaluation. Next is the graphic rating scale. It is widely used. It is a printed appraisal form consisting of items of job-related behaviors, that is the employee characteristics and the knowledge about the job that the employee have, and this is actually the employee's contribution to the work. Now this is provided to the evaluators to rate the employees accordingly. Next is the essay method. In this, the evaluator writes narrative descriptions on the employee's strengths, weaknesses, achievements, potentialities. Here, the rater tries to be as descriptive as possible about the employee who is assessed. Next is the field review. In field review, it's an outsider anyone from other department, which departments is assessed, someone from any other department, or in many cases someone from the HR department is asked to come and rate or appraise the employees. So this is basically done to remove the bias, so that someone from the other department, from someone external from the department will do a bias free assessment of the employees. That is actually the view of this. Next is the confidential report. This is generally done in the government sectors, where the immediate boss or the manager appraise and furnish the report of the employee for promotion, and that report obviously is kept confidential. So it's a confidential report. And another method, or lastly, it's the group appraisal, where the employee is rated by appraisal group, and this appraisal group is comprised of the supervisor and 3 or 4 evaluators who are trained evaluators, who are outside members of that group. They are interviewers who come from other departments, or they are trained individuals in appraising. So they form a group and they interview the employee on their knowledge, on their about their job, and accordingly they assess the employee. Now all this is about the traditional method. In the modern method, firstly it's management by objective, it's MBO. Here the superior or the boss, along with the subordinates and the colleagues, they jointly identify the common goals and the problems in attaining that goals, the barriers, everything. They do it jointly, and the allocation of duties are done according to the potential. That this only serves as a guide to the employees regarding their role and contribution in the system or organization. This was actually termed by Peter Drucker, and in this method the assessment is done by understanding the strength and weakness of each employee. Next is the behaviorally anchored rating scale. This use both quantity and quality of work for appraisal. Here specific examples of job behavior anchored with numerical ratings comes in a printed format, and that is provided for rating. Next is the assessment centers that comes into rating. Here the evaluators who are trained in this function only, they are trained evaluators or managers or raters. They evaluate the employees together by giving them some job related exercises. The evaluators test the employees on various exercises and various works, and accordingly they rate the employees and assess them. Next is the 360-degree appraisal form. What is a 360 degree? A circle. So when it's a circle, it's from all sides. Okay, so here the assessment is not done by the superior only. Here everybody actually assess or appraise the individual, the employee. The employee is getting assessed by supervisors, by subordinates, by peers, the customers. The feedback of the employee is gathered by giving a survey questionnaire, and this gives a total round of evaluation of the employee, and so it's a 360-degree appraisal. Another is a 720-degree, though not much in use, but this is also a good source. It's quite similar to 360-degree. The difference is 360-degree is central to the company. That means the person working in that company is getting evaluated by all the members who are in the company. And when it's 720-degree, it's just the double of it. It's like not only the company, the stakeholders, the investors, the suppliers, the funding institutions who all are related to the company, but they are actually outside the company, they are also rating the individual or the employee along with the internal group of people, the supervisors, the peers, the customers and all. Okay, and lastly, the HR accounting. This method assess the employee's performance from the economic output. It's like the evaluation and the cost accounting. It's like contribution of the employee, how much the company is getting benefited by the person. That means how much the employee is doing or contributing to the growth of the company, and that is compared against what is his cost to the company. Now, what is company paying to the person for getting the benefits, for getting the benefits of his work, for his dedication, for his job understanding, and that is actually calculated and accordingly evaluated and appraised. So this is all about the performance appraisal.